So, Apple's iPhone 17 is here with Apple Intelligence baked in, a new A19 chip, and some really fun pastel colors. But the question is it worth upgrading from your current iPhone or even making the jump from Android? Let's go ahead and dig in. What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse. Welcome back to my channel where we dive into tech that is smart, secure, and stylish. As an Android power user, I always keep an iPhone around, not just to use as a camera in my studio, which to be fair is totally why I have an iPhone, but I also like to have a clear, well-rounded understanding of all the options available to us. And since I also have an iPhone 16 from last year, why in the world would I want to upgrade to this one instead? Also, should you save a few $100 and just grab one of these instead of, say, an iPhone 17 Pro model? Well, let's dig in because the iPhone 17 model is $799 base with carrier activation or $829 without, for a starting storage of 256 gigs. That's actually an upgrade in storage and no price increase compared to the retail price of the iPhone 16 last year. Also, Apple went with an aluminum frame this year, plus Ceramic Shield 2 on the front and a color-infused glass back on the Mist Blue, Sage, and Lavender versions. Now, I've got the Lavender version here, and honestly, it looks like candy. I want to eat it, but please do not lick your iPhone because that is absolutely disgusting. It's very beautiful and I love that matte lavender colorway. It is a lovely design, and honestly, I'm not surprised there were very few changes made this year for this base model in terms of casing and form factor. This one matches my studio set colors almost exactly. Like, look at that color compared to my back wall. It almost blends in. It's like camouflaged. So you can definitely see why I was immediately drawn to it. It's my color of choice. Now at 177 grams, that's about 6.24 ounces and just under 8 millimeters thick or 0.31 inches. It is slim. It feels balanced in the hand, and yes, it is still rocking that IP68 water and dust resistance. Good news if you've got butterfingers like I do for sure. It's also very resistant to scratches and dings. Like, I've been rocking mine without a case or a screen protector, and so far it still looks brand new. I'm really impressed by that. Other than the color, if you saw one of these next to last year's model, it's basically just an iteration upgrade. They look exactly the same with very minimal design changes. So where do we actually get some upgrades? Well, notably, the display is upgraded, the cameras, and the battery are going to be the biggest changes here. So first, we've got the display. We've got a 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's running at 120 Hz Pro Motion with up to 3000 nits peak brightness outdoors. The translation for that is you can actually see your screen in the Colorado mountains, where we get sunny days all the time. Dynamic Island is also present, and always on display is finally here in the base model. I also noticed animations feel really buttery smooth thanks to that adaptive refresh rate. Also, similar to my Galaxy S25 devices, it does not reflect a ton of light, so that also makes it really easy to see your screen. Now, if you are finding this video helpful, a subscribe is the best way to support your favorite YouTube content creators. Subscribing is a very simple way of showing me which videos you find helpful and valuable. I can see if somebody is watching this video and they choose to subscribe while they're watching the video. I can see those analytics. It's all anonymous. I can't see exactly who's subscribing, but I do see the number go up. So it's pretty cool whenever somebody chooses to subscribe after they're watching one of these videos. Also, a big Patreon shout out to my s'mores. You can see them and support my channel by going over to patreon.com/ShannonMorse. That's where you can join everybody else for perks like early video access and my private Discord. As usual, all of the videos on my channel are free to watch. I thank my YouTube members and my patrons for making that possible. Because a video like this one, all of my iPhone reviews this year are not sponsored, so thank you so much for supporting this channel. Now, I am loving that there is a 48 megapixel dual fusion camera system plus a 48 megapixel ultra wide. Apple ditched the old 12 megapixel ultra wide camera and they went for this higher resolution sensor across the board. So there's still no telephoto lens, but if you want good zoom, the base models from Android makers still kind of reign superior in that department. But this phone also has more options for cameras compared to the iPhone Air, which I also just posted my review video for. So you can check out that video for some comparisons between the two models. All right, so I I noticed that the photos have really good color accuracy and exposure balance, especially in bright sunlight or outdoor situations. There's plenty of detail in subjects like my kitty's fur or some of the models in my studio. In general, tougher spots like brighter clouds or shadowy areas are well balanced and satisfactory. Similar to my Air, my portrait mode test also came out really well too. Usually I dislike portraits because they look so computational and very fake on Android, but Apple does a very fine job with that setting. Now the zoom 2 times does the same thing that the iPhone Air does. It's just cropping into 2 times telephoto from your original photo, which is 24, or if you choose, you can increase up to 48 megapixels. So it's cropping in from that larger sensor size, but still the higher zoom quality is just not there. I like potatoes. I identify as a hobbit, but not for photos. But I was impressed with the ultra-wide shots at 0.5 times zoom. These gave me some really great images of big, grand landscapes and views, and the accuracy of the color and exposure was really great. We've also got up to 4K 60 for videos with Dolby Vision and great stabilization. Now for selfies. The selfie camera is located right here. It's an 18 megapixel selfie camera right on the front, and this one includes center stage, which is a new feature that automatically zooms the photo out when more people join your photo for a group selfie. It also intelligently sees them, and it should switch automatically, but sometimes it doesn't do it automatically. Luckily, there is a button to change that too, so if you just want to take advantage of that center stage type of platform, you can do it manually. This is offered so you don't have to turn your phone on its side for a wider angle picture like your group photos. It gives you the wider angle while you are holding the phone in that vertical position, so it just zooms out for you. My selfies look great. They are not over sharpened. My skin looks normal. It looks really realistic. The colors are accurate, and those wider group shots also look excellent with center stage. Everyone is looking the right way, which is also really nice. And here I got some video examples too. Now inside of this teeny tiny little iPhone 17, we've got the A19 chipset, which brings hardware accelerated ray tracing for gaming, plus better efficiency. Now I did play some Genshin Impact on here on high settings. I did notice some frame rate drops pretty consistently. That is not great, and I was hoping for a better experience. But the phone did stay pretty cool during those sessions and during benchmarking. When it did get warm, the warmth was well dispersed across the device, across the back of the device, so I wasn't worried there. My 3D mark tests also showed some surprising numbers. My scores and overall performance were better on the iPhone 17 than the Air in terms of short bursts of heavy workloads with Wildlife Extreme running, and better with longer half-hour stress tests. Now you pair this with the new Apple Intelligence AI features, and you can do things like summarizing text and auto-generating images, and you can get visual intelligence straight from the camera. Apple says all this processing happens on device for privacy, which I also really appreciate as somebody who honestly cringes at the thought of data leaks. And then we have iOS 26. Liquid glass is, I said this in my iPhone Air review, and I'm gonna say it again. This is what happens whenever Winamp, transparent skins, and Windows Vista have a baby together. You end up with liquid glass on an iPhone. If you know, you know. So iOS 26 and liquid glass, it's very similar across the board with all the new iPhones, so I'm repeating myself here if you've already watched the iPhone Air review that I also did. The newest operating system has a redesigned user interface. It's called Liquid Glass. It looks like translucent glassy images, and they refract light and colors based on motion and inputs. I actually think it looks really cool. I love the nostalgic feel it gives me because it reminds me of Winamp and it reminds me of Windows Vista, but with more upscaled graphics and more interactive designs. So the camera app is also redesigned, and you'll notice that when you're going through the settings or switching between video and photo. There's also some updates to the lock screen too, like you can move your widgets down to the bottom of the screen now, and on your home screen you can make all of your icons clear, which is a little bit hard to see, so I don't prefer it. I tried doing this and then changing them all to pink and adding some translucency, some transparency, and all of my icon images disappeared for a few short seconds. Like there were no icon images, it was just like an outline and it was pink, and that was it. There was nothing else on the screen. It was a really weird bug it only disappeared for a few short seconds till eventually they just started appearing again from the different pages. I can't recreate it for the camera, I've tried. So if anybody else has seen that happen whenever you're messing around with your icons, let me know. I'm really curious if it was just me or if anybody else has had that experience. There's also this 3D effect that you can pop onto your wallpapers to make it look like it's popping out in more 3D. So when you're moving your phone back and forth, you can kind of see it move with you, and this is called spatial scene. It does look pretty cool, but it does not work well on anime wallpapers. It works a lot better on actual photos where there's a subject and then something in the background. Saving screenshots on my 3D mark scores was also kind of annoying in iOS 26 because it asks you every single time if you want to save the photo. So you can disable this extra step by going into settings, general, screen capture, and then turning off full screen previews, and that goes back to screenshotting and making a little minimized version in the corner that you can just swipe away. Now, Apple claims up to 30 hours of video playback. Charging speeds are solid, like 50% in 20 minutes with a 40-watt adapter, but as usual, you do need to buy that separately. Wireless charging via MagSafe or Qi 2 both go up to 25 watts, which is an upgrade, but that's still going to be a little bit slower than some of the Android rivals. I did a battery drain test by taking this phone off the charger at 10:20 a.m. and it hit 5% at 8:30 p.m., making the screen on time equate to just about 10 hours. That includes a lot of gaming, benchmarking, camera usage. I also was doing a lot of streaming of YouTube videos at 4K. Now, your experience in daily use will be a lot longer in terms of battery life. I was specifically trying to drain that battery as fast as possible. Then we've got some other features like USB-C, which is still capped at USB 2 speeds on the base model. So if you're moving big files, you might want to grab a Pro model instead. The action button is customizable. That's found over on the side again. So that one is customizable. I do appreciate that. They also have that camera control on the other side. It's still there, but I generally just do not use it. I forget that it's there most of the time. Also, you will notice there is no slot for SIM because they went eSIM only. So physical SIM card fans, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen with this one. And the Air, when I reviewed that one, I noticed it only had one speaker built into the back. This one actually has dual speakers, so yay for that because dual speakers sounds a lot better. Now, the iPhone 17 starts at 256 gigs, which is nice, but pricing is still in high territory. You are paying for the brand, you're paying for the ecosystem, and the build quality, I gotta say, it's pretty good. So should you buy it? Well, if you've got an iPhone 15 or older, maybe it might feel like a good upgrade for you. If you're on the 16 from last year, wait. You can wait unless Apple Intelligence is calling your name. And if you are an Android user like I am, well, this is definitely competitive, but you are going to have to be ready to give up some of those customizations and features that you've gotten used to on Android. Also, I think that Gemini and Galaxy AI are loads better for things like audio and video and photo editing. Circle to search is just so amazing. Spam detection, translations, especially when I'm translating from Japanese. This one does not work as good as my Android phones, but that's my take. I would love to know what you think about your iPhone 17 or if this is one that you're considering upgrading to. I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.